Hello everybody. So in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about how do you create a website, because the internet was born in around 1990s, so the internet has been around for about 30 years now, and there are very many websites on the internet today. As of now there are around 1.9 billion websites on the internet. So that's a lot of websites. But have you ever wondered, how do you create a website? Okay, so if you want to create a website, you first have to register a domain name. So you have to buy a name on the internet. For example, the name www.google.com is bought by Google. So the part of Google is called the domain. And first you have to buy a domain. So let's say I wanted to buy a domain that is just my name. Then it would be www.henrikveimer.com. So first you buy a domain, and after you have bought the rights to use that name on the internet as a domain, you have to find a company that can host your website. So there are a lot of hosting companies that do this for you. So they basically take your website and connect it to the internet. And these companies are like Bluehost, HostGator, InMotion Hosting, GoDaddy, etc. There are a lot of companies, but I think the best companies today to both buy a domain and host a website, because often the companies that allow you to buy a domain also allow you to host the website through their services. The best companies today, I believe, are InMotion Hosting and Bluehost, especially Bluehost. Bluehost is especially good for WordPress, which I will talk about soon. So now when you have bought the right to a name, a domain name, and you have found a company that will connect your domain name to the internet, called a hosting provider, you have to have a software that can start building your website, so that you have a framework to build on. And this is called a content management system. So because it manages content, and it's a system basically. So the most popular CMS, content management system today, is WordPress. Around 52% of all sites on the internet use WordPress, so it's by far the most popular CMS. Some other CMSs include Joomla, Wix, Weebly, and Squarespace, Shopify, and WooCommerce. Some CMSs are specifically designed for e-commerce, so that if you want to sell your products on the internet. One such popular CMS is Shopify, and also WooCommerce is quite popular. Okay, so now you have bought the right to a domain name, you have found a hosting provider which connects your site to the internet, and you have found a CMS for which you can start creating your content on. Now the fourth part to creating a website is that you need to actually create the content. So now you will use the CMS that you have installed on your website to start creating posts, pages, menus, widgets, etc. There are a lot of components that go into a website, so now you will start creating these components. Of course there are templates that are offered from the CMS, but you still need to create the actual content. So that is the fourth part. And then the fifth part is that when you have your content up on your website, you will of course keep uploading content to your site, but now you will also start to monitor your site's performance. So you will look like, how many visits do I get per day? Where are those persons coming from? How long time do they spend on my websites? How many pages do they visit? And stuff like that. There are a lot of things that you can check on your website, and the most popular software for looking on your website is called Google Analytics, and it's by far the best web analytics there are. Another pretty popular web analytics software is Adobe Catalyst. So either you use Adobe or Google Analytics. I strongly recommend that you use Google Analytics because it's by far better than the other ones. So now we'll just go through the whole process again. So you start by purchasing a domain name, and you can buy domain names from companies such as Domain.com, GoDaddy, Namecheap, HostGator. Yes, you can search on Google for best registrars, best domain registrars 2019, and you will find a lot of them. And then when you have purchased a domain name, you will need to find a hosting provider that will connect your site to the internet. But most often, the company that you buy the domain name from will also offer hosting for your website. And when you have bought your domain name and find hosting, you go to the first step, which is that you install a CMS to your website, so a content management system, and the most popular today is WordPress. It's by far the best. The fourth step is that you create the content on your site. You actually write posts, make videos, etc., and upload it to your site. And the fifth step is that you monitor your site's performance. So you look at how is the site doing, is it doing well, what can I do to improve it, where was it performing good then, and why is it performing less good now, etc. So I hope that you have got a little bit of an insight to how you create a website. Of course there are numerous online resources that you can look at too, but I hope that this is a good starting point. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!